Hello and welcome to my first ever painting video. I really wanted to show my painting process in general, but with this particular painting it actually was a big struggle and started off a lot differently than I normally paint, but I still decided to share it. So I really wanted to paint a modern Mother Goose. I typically do not put any kind of pencil sketch on my canvases. With this one, I really felt like I wanted to have a plan, which was unlike me. I typically sketch directly with paint, but I felt like, you know what, I want to make sure this turns out good, and it kind of backfired on me. So as you'll see, I end up resorting to my typical method about halfway through. But for the beginning, I'm just pushing for this modern Mother Goose. She's wearing a little pink cap, got her baby in a baby carrier. So I didn't include a shot of my actual materials, but I'll let you know. This is acrylic paint, it's the cheap stuff, it's the basics, Liquid-X, and I use really old brushes. I am currently looking to upgrade, treat myself a little, not too much. So if anyone has any suggestions for something a little fancier, a little more professional, but nothing crazy, please let me know. I would love some suggestions. But truly, I have no complaints about the Basics Liquid-X paint. Does exactly what I need it to do. Brushes, that's another story. These are really old. Could definitely use something fresh up here. So I typically paint dark to light. This was a unique case. I really don't know what I was doing here. I kind of feel like I'm winging it, like every painting I do. Especially this one. I also wanted to add that my painting technique is mostly self-taught. I taught myself how to paint this way in high school, and going on to college I was taught the basics of different ways to paint, and I always resorted back to this one and felt more natural to me. So I like to start slapping in some paint in the background when I get to this really rough stage of the portrait, just to kind of establish where I wanted a lighter area, or mostly just to see how close I could get the background to what I actually wanted it to end up being, because as the portrait gets more finished, I don't want to keep going over the background. So now I'm just starting to build up some warmer white layers up on this goose. I jump around a lot when I'm painting, so hopefully you don't mind that. But I will shut up for a while and pop back in when things start to go awry. If you want to see how this goose ends up looking pretty different than what you see my plan is right now, then please keep watching. And even though this is not the best example, because as you will see, I end up completely redoing this whole goose head, I wanted to share to anyone who is maybe newer at painting animal portraits, especially white animals. I try to build from like a gray being the first white I put on, and then it gradually go lighter and lighter until the final details of the painting are white, like true white. And I also do a mix of like pinkish whites, yellowish, and then bluish even for more shadowy areas, purplish. You can play with color a lot, and your eye will put it together looking realistic. Oh, and one actual last thing before I truly am quiet for a little bit. I'm sorry about all the lighting changes in these videos. I'm a mom to a baby, and she naps some days, and I paint in little spurts throughout the day and in the evening. So that's just the grind right now. So yeah, certainly some evening lighting coming your way soon. Why do I keep telling you guys I'm gonna stop talking? It's just not gonna happen. I'm gonna take back everything I said. I'm gonna talk through this whole video. Alright, it's my first video. But, as you can see, this is a little bit further ahead. I'm starting to get frustrated. I have washed out all contrast that I had tried to build up in this goose head. Trying not to get frustrated, but I already put a little more time than I would have liked to still be at a stage where I'm not liking the painting. Alright, so even further ahead, and we are getting to the end for me. I'm either going to give up this whole painting, or I'm going to take a risk and paint over it. Or I'm going to commit to just not liking it very much. Still putting it on Instagram. Well, as you'll see, I am just going to stay true to my actual method and paint right on there with acrylic paint. We are just going for it. We are doing this. So alright, take two. We are just going from dark to light, building up some colorful white layers, trying not to go overboard like I did the first time where I completely washed out this goose. Also, please say hello to my husband's knee. It is hanging out with me while I paint. I enjoy it. I like the view. You should too. So yeah, just using the background to create the shape of the new goose head and to completely erase any evidence that there was ever another goose living on this canvas. This is a solo goose head. The one that was meant to be is finally coming through, and I can feel it. I can tell that this is a lot better decision. And remember how I keep talking about building dark to light? Yeah, I don't really follow my own advice. Here I am just slapping some purple down because I didn't add enough shadow. You know, we're learning here. And look at that! It worked out. And if you're wondering why my left hand keeps flying up into the frame, I use my fingers a lot to smudge. It's just a straight up habit at this point. I don't know any other way. But yeah, sometimes you just, instead of getting some special little brush, you're just in the heat of the moment and your finger just makes the most sense. That's what I do. And now I'm working on the little baby duckling. This duckling's name is Junie. I like to write what some might call ridiculous little stories for my paintings. I really enjoy it. I like getting weird with it, and that is like a little underground passion of mine that I'm finding out. I write them on my Instagram captions, so I will link it in my description. You know, why not? If you want to read some of my silly little tales that I put with all my paintings, including this one of Junie. But yeah, just some of the final details to go, as well as smoothing out the background, and I ended up adding last minute in true fashion of this painting. I put some glasses on her to make her look a little more Mother Goose-like, so I will show that at the end of this video and the photo of the final painting. Thank you so much for watching my very first YouTube video. I hope to make a lot more, so I would love it if you subscribed and followed along if you want to see me get better at making YouTube videos, hopefully. And yeah, I'd love to know more about you and your own art, so please share it share it with me, and we can be little art friends on the internet. Thank you so much. Bye.